just who do you think you are? Were you ever on the receiving end of that question with that tone of voice? Raise your hand if you know what I'm talking about. Now take it in this way. Just who do you think you are? Who do you think you are? Different feeling, right? Different feeling. Sometimes when that question is asked, it's asked not to encourage us to bloom, but to kind of pull us down a peg or two, to put us in our place. I want to talk to you this morning on this topic of who you really are. Because how you see yourself, how you identify yourself, makes all the difference in the world in the kind of life you say yes to and the kind of life you co-create for yourself. I have been inspired for a long time by the writings of Rumi. Rumi strikes a chord in many of us because Rumi was a mystic. Rumi lived in the 13th century. He was a Persian, Sunni, Muslim poet. He was a scholar, a theologian, but most of all, a Sufi mystic. And if you know anything about Sufism, you know that it is the mystical arm, the deeper spiritual practice and understanding of Islam. It's the exploration into the truth of the divine and into the truth of the heart of wisdom and compassion. And in that, it's very similar to the mystical understanding and teaching of unity, and also to the mystical teaching of Jesus the Christ that's not always found in the standard four Gospels, but is usually found in some of the other Gospels, like the Gospel of Thomas and some of the Gnostic Gospels. There are three general categories of quotes of his that I want to share with you. And the first category are statements that he has made or written about knowing who and what you really are. One of my favorites is this: you are not a drop in the ocean, you are the entire ocean in a drop. All that God is, all that Spirit is, all that the divine is, we are that too. Not just some of us, not just those that look like us or believe like us or vote like us. That one's included. But all of us. He goes on to write, do you know what you are? You are a manuscript of a divine letter. You are a mirror reflecting a noble face. You are a volume in the divine book, a mirror to the power that created the universe. This is a 13th century mystic telling us, really telling us, who we really are, what we really are. When we live from that, we live from our own seed of greatness. It does not make us boastful. It does not make us arrogant. It does not make us immune to our own growth and our own change, but it starts us at a powerful platform, a powerful starting point, a very important starting point. Second area that Rumi invites us into is this: if this is so of who we are, the entire ocean in the drop, then how are we meant to live? How are we meant to live? Because we will live differently when we own this about ourselves and when we own this for each other. How will we live? He says this: stop acting so small. You are the universe in ecstatic motion. Well, what does that look like when we stop playing so small? I think it looks like many things. I think it can look like we stop waiting to be asked to share our ideas. We share them. We stop waiting to voice our thoughts, our beliefs, our truths. We start sharing them, not in a way that makes others wrong, but that we own our power, that we own our understanding.
Thanks for listening. Sunday services at 9 and 11 a.m. Inclusivity. it's worth the drive. Subscribe to our podcasts and download our free app for instant access to a wealth of spiritual teachings, services, and events.